All aboard! Hello and welcome to this edition of Shaky Hand Shed, and today we're going to be going over some unfinished projects I have on the bench, and there's some interesting models here. The first off is a Class 40. It's based on the UF model, very old model. But they had something, I suppose. It'll be decent when it's done and weathered. As you can see, there's a white metal buffer beam and brass fittings, which I've done some cutting up on it as well. That's how it started originally. And you can see the kit parts at the side of it. The white metal with brass and etched brass and various bits and bobs, really. What can you say? It was just to convert it from that sort of front end to that sort of front end. And I've done it as, from what I can remember, it's one that was based at Manchester and Newton Heath Loco. And I dare say I cab rode it at some point. I think I pretty much rode all Newton Heaths, Class 40s. And another thing I'm doing as a project, some hoppers to drag behind it. They used to pass the signal box I worked in, stone hoppers, and some of them could be really long trains. They were interesting, like block trains, and as you can see, got etched brass brake discs, buffers and ladders. And next up are a pair of Tyco bicentennials. They've had a lot of hammer. I think they were stored in a damp shed or something. They didn't have a good life. But I did some cleaning up. I stripped them down, give them a good scrub. I've serviced them. This is basically the real loco it be based on for America's bicentennial, 1776, when they decided to get rid of us British and go it alone. Anyway, and here's a DMU for this one. I'm putting flush glaze in it. I think I've already done the cab there. And I'm making the bulkhead behind the driver. I'm putting a driver in it, put passengers in, and paint the inside. And this one I were making, I think it were a packet or something I was making. It was something that weren't readily available at the time. Then Hornby introduced the packet. But yeah, it's a packet style loco. It'll probably end up being independent sort of thing. But it's starting to look good. It'll be my own sort of design, I suppose. I really need to finish that off because it's getting close. It'll look decent finished and something a little odd. It'll confuse people at swap meets in the future. And that brings us next up to a Lima Class 37 I bought that had, I'll call it an average paint job. It weren't bad, it weren't good. It was decently done, but you could tell it were brush painted. But hey ho, de value. And here, this is after I stripped the paint off. And we're back to the basic Lima paint job, so why paint it? Just get decals. And that'll be deckled up and some flush glaze on. And ready to rot, and maybe a bit of weathering. So that's another one on the drawing board. Should make a nice tractor. And this one's an American one, it was only a cheap mess about. I've probably gone too far really. But I could do with getting this one finished, because this'll be nice on a finisher. Because I've done a lot of work on it to bring it up to speed. It was just a basic shell. I stripped the paint, cleaned it up. I can't even remember whose make it is now, whether it's Pikeman or not. But I've made etched brass handrails, brass checker plate cut to shape and fitted. It just needs finishing. Find the brass checker plate and finish all that off. Do the handrails, and I could really do with finding out who supplies handrail stanchions to make me own. I think it was Smoky Valley they were called. Any answers in my text down below? If you can tell me who makes stanchions and supplies them in the UK. And no prizes for guessing what this is. It's a triangle under Hornby. Battle of Britain body. And the top one was Spitfire. I don't know what the triangle one was released as, but they've been getting some work on them, fair to say. And I've got a few Battle of Britons. I might make one into a West Country. But here I also use the Dapple kit as parts for detailing and stuff. And in one case I got one with a beyond repair body shell from Swap Meet. And I bought a kit and made the body shell up. And that now sports the body shell. So happy days. It's coming useful. Yeah, and as you may notice, this is one of the triangle chassis. It could do with a good clean when I do it. I've removed the triangle front pony truck for a more modern day Hornby one. So they look a lot better than wheels. And I'll give it a good clean and service. And she runs already, but a good clean and service one arm. Yeah, I always loved them locos, and here, this one putting a motorised chassis on a Dapple rail bus. For the more observant that have noticed, I'm motorising the Dapple rail bus. So that should be a nice fun project to do. These are all stuff that's on bench. I really need to get cracking on with some of them. Because that one will make a cracking project by itself. Paint it well, and I could even do it rail blue with yellow ends. Something that it never was, but you say never was. With railway history, then you're proven wrong. But yeah, it's got the potential to look damn good. And this one was given to me by a friend from the diecast community, Martin Durr. He also does model railways, but it was an absolute shed of a thing. It was battered, and somebody had painted it, but they'd used car paint, put it on too heavy, and it's melted some of the body. Like, I got a new body, but then I thought, no, I want the competition. I bought a dummy loco, but then I thought, no, it's too good to strip for the body. So I thought, I'm going to have the competition. I'm going to complete this thing. Excuse me, if it kills me, I'll complete it. Because it has the potential of being good. It's actually coming up good, but if you want to get a project like that, be prepared to put hours into it. And here it's starting to come up a lot better. I'm further ahead than that. I've done the black areas on the roof and the running boards. So it's lucky they were very bright logos. But it's Santa Fe and... Is it Santa Fe and Southern Pacific? You can have either or on it. They're both different decals. I've got the decals for it, so I can do it Southern Pacific or Santa Fe. They're both the same colours and same basic body colours. But Martin will be happy to know how far along it is. Seeing as the absolute shed it was we give it us, I might put lighting in to distract from how poor the body shell is, but I may also get off with weathering and rusting, giving it an excuse for looking rough. There's ways and means when you're modelling everything. You can get a rough model and make it look a lot better. And this little tinker was before home, and again, with me, I decide to do something, then 10 minutes after, a model company releases it. I've started working on this, I've got some bits and bobs for it. And if you can see either the engine, like I could, that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be as good, but they're making it fully from scratch. I'm working on what I have. So, but I'm not going to buy one when I can make one out of something that's a close resemblance. I mean, it were only a cartoon character anyway. And here we go, this is what I bought. It's going to be one of the eBay £30 buys. I bought it for 30 quid. It were advertised as a good runner, but I've got it on layout and it squeals like a bitch. And also, it could have been the owner fibbing, but I think it got damaged in post because the body was snapped off the chassis, but I've repaired that. So all I have to do is service it, and that's another one off the bench. Maybe match up the cylinder block colour to the body, get it a better match. Because some of it's not. Or it might just be me, I'll have to have a better look. And anyway, finally, here's one that's on the bench at the moment. I think Sam's Trains did one a week or two back. But I got hold of one, it was 20 quid. And I've stripped it. It were advertised as noisy runner. It's not as noisy now, it's been stripped. cleaned, lubricated, and I'm going to strip the paint off, repaint, fabricate new parts for it, and we should be right. Anyway, tatty pie, everyone. Tatty pie. And thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, get that button pushed.